their sons and their daughters. So the sin of immorality always goes with the sacrifice. They took away their children. They said, these children are our own children, but we want to sacrifice them to gods. The Bible said, to the gods with whom they have committed their whoredoms. That means that also for with the gods they committed their whoredoms. Now, the King James refer to fornication or immorality as whoredoms. So when somebody tells you are a whore, it means that you are an immoral person. And they sacrifice their children to the gods by which they, or for whom they did committed the whoredoms. That means when you live any immoral life, what you are doing is that you are in another way sacrificing something to the devil. So the sin of immorality is not done with the mere eyes or with your mere bare eyes, but any act of immorality you indulge in, there are spirits involved, and it goes with the sacrifice. That is why the Bible said that I beseech you therefore, brethren, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice. So this temple of God, the body, the human body, being a temple of God. Yesterday I proved to you that sex is worship. And so when you sleep with your wife, it becomes worship unto God. But the same act of sex, if you sleep with somebody who is not legally entitled to you as your wife, the thing becomes worship unto the devil, and it attracts satanic curses. So, if I take my body as a virgin and I sleep with a man, for the first time, the man breaks your virginity, blood comes out. And the Bible said that the high priest went into the temple of worship once in a year, and he went there not without blood. That establishes your husband or the person that sleeps with you as your high priest. And so if the act is an act which is within the confines of marriage, because now the act of sex becomes worship in essence, blessing that goes with worship must follow your life. The contrary is also true. If you engage in any act of immorality, which is sex practice outside marriage, you attract curses. Why? Because your body that is supposed to be preserved as the temple of Jehovah now becomes a temple for the devil. And so because you are using that same temple to worship the devil, satanic attention is attracted upon your life. Am I talking to you people at all? Am I talking to you people at all? So now, the Bible said the act that AHOLAH and AHOLIBA involved themselves in, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters. What does it mean? It means that if you are somebody who is not a virgin and you sleep and you conceive, that is why also when most of our ladies commit adultery, fornication, and they get an issue out of it, they don't want to kill the pregnancy, they want to abort it. And the children they abort, the blood that goes out of them, the lives they take and they kill, it establishes satanic, demonic covenants over the act of sex, so that day and day in out, the devil can use that sacrifice to consummate the act. So the people do not come out of the act. You see them always living that sin. They don't want it, but they cannot stop it because sacrifice have gone inside the thing. Listen. So AHOLAH and AHOLIBA was sleeping around. If you were there, you would think that some but spirits were behind. Nobody commits adultery or immorality with their bare eye. There are spirits that go into the thing. And that is why, if you are here, the guys that are listening to the sound of my voice, and anything your eyes set upon, even if they put a wood there and put headgear on it to propose to it, then your journey is very long. You need to battle this thing out with prayer, fastings, and sacrifice, because you know what? The thing you are doing, there are spirits behind it. Number two, the thing that is called immorality, it doesn't just begin. There is an initiating point. Everybody say there is an initiating point. I can't hear you well at all. Say there are initiating points. Are you with me? That is why when someone comes to you and says, "Oh, Sopho, I just backslided. I just fell." Me, I don't believe in that. Sometimes some of the Christian daughters come to me or the brothers say, "Oh, Sopho, Mashiasi." And then I also, I don't know how the whole thing happened. I just fell. I don't believe in that. Before somebody commits immorality or adultery, a lot of thinking and planning goes into it. It's true. Even rape. People that rape ladies, they don't just rape them because they plan it. Are you people with me at all? How do I know? The Bible said that for they committed whoredoms in Egypt. And they were daughters of the same mother. This brings into mind 2 points. Number one, because the Bible brings to bear the name of their mother or the fact that they come from the same mother, it means that the thing was of a genetic interest. So sometimes when you read the Bible, you see the Bible tracing some names and say that, and this begat that, and that begat that, and that begat that. Why all that long names? If you are not careful, you might even think that it's a waste of your time just reading people's names. By the time you conclude the mention of a long list of names, one name of interest will be picked out and something will be said about the person. That means that God is interested about your genetic source. God always traces where you are coming out from to trace the purity of that bloodline before a divine visitation comes upon you. So nobody ever attracts divine favor when God is not conscious or aware of where you emanated from. That is why God added that we said that from whence cometh thou. When God went into the garden, Adam and Eve are totally backslided. He said that, who told you are naked? God is always interested in tracing sources. So the fact that God mentioned the name of their mother is a sure sign that the problem of AHOLAH and AHOLIBA is genetic in orientation. Am I talking to you? Am I talking to you? Number two, the Bible said, and they committed whoredoms in Egypt. So the second principle here is that every sin of immorality you find yourself in is also possible. It is environmentally oriented. So apart from the fact that yet me the war business and the power problem. That is why some of you listen to me very carefully. If you check that your family line very seriously, you will see that most of the sisters or that particular weakness, it runs through the blood. It's genetic. But sometimes it also has impact on the way we live our lives when it comes to holiness or immorality. The Bible said that they committed whoredoms in Egypt. What is Egypt? Egypt is a den of immorality and captivity. So if you give birth to a child into an atmosphere or an environment where the settings there facilitates immorality, the girl or the young boy is always seeing pornographic pictures, seeing people exposing their sacred parts of their body and doing all kinds of things that facilitates immorality, chances are that by the time the influence of that environment has become so immense that if you don't take care, that child can no longer be corrected. How do I know? Because the Bible said that train up a child in the way he should go, and when he grows, he will not depart out of it. So by the time that child grows to become an idol, that weakness is almost impossible to be corrected. Are you people with me in this house? Are you with me in this house? So they committed the whoredoms. Number one, because the thing started genetically, and number two, because of their environment. And there are some of you here, the pictures you watch, the films you watch, the kind of company you move with, has set the wrong environment or atmosphere around your life that no spiritual growth or activity can take place in your life. Listen. How many of you, I preached some sermon, I said that the Bible said that in the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth, the whole earth was null and void. And the Bible said, God said that let the firmament be separated from the firmament on top of it. The word firmament here means the environment or the atmosphere. And I said something, nothing ever happens out of the blue without the right atmospheres. You cannot be having sex with a boy or a girl in church. Right now, if I call this my sister and I ask this gentleman to look straight into the eye for about 5 minutes, you will see that they will find it very difficult. Why? Because the environment or the atmosphere that we have set here is that of a congregation or a spiritual atmosphere which does not permit immoral thoughts. but let me take the two of them into a room and leave them alone and put Celine Dion or some powerful CD of a romantic blues inside it before you realize they are kissing. And the reason is that every environment you set goes with a particular act in life. By watching pornography for a long time, what are you doing? You are creating an environment around your life so that the day you meet a man and you begin to pick the ideas and the memories of that thing you have been watching, the enemy can now begin to use those mental pictures to facilitate the act of sin or immorality. So any environment you create around you will determine how you live your life. That is why I am careful the kind of films I watch in my house. That is why I am careful the things I say and I do. If you keep always fellowshipping with wrong friends who always keep on discussing pictures ya ensem frase Christonia brantie Christonia baya, and that's how if you keep watching those things, you create the wrong atmosphere around your life that the devil needs no effort at all to visit you to live an immoral life. Just one click and the devil will find you on the ground. So they didn't start the thing anywhere. They wanted Egypt. That is where they can do the thing. And some of you are still living in your Egypt. You come to church, you are still in Egypt. You praise God, you are still in Egypt. You are dancing, you are still in Egypt. You are giving seeds and sowing offering, you are still in Egypt. But after today, I see a new generation rising out of this place. Oh, that generation, they will not know anything that is called evil. They will not give their body to immorality. They will not walk their life after the course of the flesh. I see a new generation rising up out of this convention. They will carry the garment of holiness. They will send the spirit of holiness. In your house, you will shine in holiness. In your office, you will shine in holiness. Everywhere you go, I see those friends of yours that have been influencing you. Your lifestyle now is going to change their lives. The way you talk is going to change their lives. The way you sing will change their lives. The music you play is going to change their lives. Something is about to turn around. You won't live your life in the spirit of AHOLAH. Neither shall AHOLIBA affect your life. Holiness shall clothe you. In case you are the one I'm talking about, lift up your hand and shout, I receive it. When you begin to create any wrong atmosphere around your life, it affects your imagination. So at every initiation point of immorality, the target material in your life or in your body is your imagination. Everybody say imagination. Everybody say imagination. Everybody say imagination. Adwene na ye wutiri huo na fita na eda wutiri we mu. Semede to computer one, that is the hardware. It is called the brain. When you say the mind, like every computer have a software installed on the hardware. So your mind now becomes the software. So for every software, there are different programs installed on it. So on this your mind, there are 3 compartments or software compartments you can get. You have something that is called your memory. The memory deals with your past. Hello? Hello? Then we have the second part called the reasoning. The reasoning deals with the present things. I will see how to them. The processing. But when you talk about the imagination, you are talking about the things you use your mind to reason or to speculate or to think into the future. So by my imagination, I contact my future. By my reason, I contact the present tense realities of life. But by my memory, I contact my past. God is not only answering prayer, He is answering your imagination. For God is able to do far more exceedingly abundant above what you can ever ask. That is prayer or think, imagination. And so because the devil is aware of this, the spirit of AHOLAH and AHOLIBA, immorality, it is always in contention against a man's imagination. So the Bible said, when they saw it, look at it. I love this word. I love this word. Look at it. Verse 11. Ezekiel 23 verse 11. And when her sister AHOLIBA saw this. Everybody say, when AHOLIBA saw this. Come on, say when AHOLIBA saw this. So, what is the Bible talking about here? He's talking about sights. The things we see. The things we see, the things we feel, and the things we hear have the capacity to affect our imagination. The difference between pharmacist Hina Daniel of today and Hina Daniel 10 years back is as a result of the things you were hearing and seeing and feeling in the pharmacy faculty in UST, which some 10 years ago you didn't used to hear nor see or feel. So why am I referring to you as a pharmacist? You are a pharmacist because by a long exposure to the things you see and the things you hear and the things you feel in the pharmacy classroom, now it has made you a pharmacist. The opposite is also true. If you were exposed to only hearing immoral languages, immoral films, German films, pornography, if you kept on hearing those things for 4 years, by now you might have a degree in... Am I talking to you people at all? So the Bible said that as soon as AHOLIBA, the sister, the junior sister, saw it, she became more corrupt and inordinate in her wickedness and in her immorality than the senior sister AHOLAH. What does it mean? It means that the sin of immorality is contagious. It affects. It is some of you are here. You keep watching some films. You keep dressing some way. You keep talking some way. When we preach about it or we talk about it, we say, dressing. Nobody is fighting the way you dress. Nobody is fighting you. But listen, the thing is contagious. When AHOLAH, the senior sister, starts it doesn't end there. AHOLIBA, the junior sister, is affected. So the thing you are doing and you think that you don't care what any pastor thinks or what anybody say. You are not even worrying the pastor or your fellow Christian brother. The effect will very soon transfer to your junior brother in the house. If your junior brother or a close relative close by doesn't get the effect of your evil life, chances are that one day your son, your firstborn, your secondborn can pick it. There are many of you that goes to places to preach where people know me. They say that, do you know Prophet Agyarko? You say yes. Why? Then you say that, I think the way you preach and the way you do